Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket or are you just happy to see me?
Hello, everybody. It has been a few weeks since I've been able to go live. Schedule didn't work out, and then Easter happened. Basically, Good Friday. I was not able to do both streams pretty much, so I just opted to go on Twitch. And then last week, I got sick. So basically, life and basically the time of year has been against me, but I am back basically to hang out with you guys this Friday afternoon for about an hour and go into some pop culture and pretty much cringe topics because unfortunately, they tend to go hand in hand. It's almost inevitable nowadays. Now, I'm not saying that all pop culture necessarily involves cringe, because if you follow my channel, at least my main channel, you know that's basically 2 Wednesdays in the month. I talk about what we call the ones and twos, basically the first and second movie in a franchise, or a movie and its sequel that like I and my co-host and most everyone tends to enjoy. This month we covered Fright Night and Fright Night Part 2, the 1985 and 1988 sequel respectively. Two movies, mainly the first one that I grew up on and basically cemented my love for the horror genre and vampire lore. So stuff that we'd love to talk about. And then the end of the month typically involves a top 10 discussion. Typically movies, but we'll be branching out into most likely video games as well as comic books moving forward. And this one coming up next week, 8 p.m. Eastern, on my main channel, will be the top 10 set movie per year 70s edition. So basically your top movie in 70, then 71 and 72 and so forth. And those lists are entirely subjective pretty much. So something that we can all talk about and enjoy. And my co-host for that, we give our thoughts and impressions on why we chose the movie or said topic that we did for whatever the top 10 is. And we encourage the chats to also participate moving forward. There it is. Like I'm saying, like not all pop culture necessarily is cringe, but unfortunately nowadays, in terms of like current pop culture news, you really cannot talk about it without talking about some cringe one way or another. So, got some cringe today to talk about. A little bit funny now, because one of the topics I'll be going into, apparently Netflix is being sued. Ostensibly, it is by an Egyptian lawyer, so I really don't expect it to be amounting to anything major for Netflix. But the fact that an Egyptian lawyer is suing Netflix over the Cleopatra biopic series helmed by Jada Pinkett Smith, and he's accusing them of blackwashing history, is really fucking funny. And so we'll be going into that, as well as there's a so-called expert that's also part of that Netflix series, and I'm like, really? Well, let's just see if that expert is worth her weight, pretty much, in her knowledge. Then, those who've grown up on the American Pie movies, well, some teenagers recently have watched American Pie for the first time and have deemed it, quote, deeply problematic. Deeply problematic. What the fuck is wrong with today's generation? I have no idea. I'm not expecting everyone to necessarily love all the movies I grew up with or anything like that, but it's literally a movie geared towards teenagers. It's not to be taken seriously or anything like that. A lot of the scenarios that happen in the movie really would not happen in real life. Really would not fucking happen in real life. We're not supposed to take it as if it would happen in real life, but there it is. There it is. So American Pie has been deemed problematic. And then we have an article shared to me by Trey, who, I don't know, why you hate me, Trey? I see you in the chat, but why do you hate me? But anyways, a gamer article written by one of our favorites, Stacey Henley, a game that I didn't even hear about until she started bitching about it, called Unrecord. And she says, we're asking the wrong questions about indie body cam game Unrecord, pretty much. Alright, so we'll be going into that topic. So basically, going from left to right, we'll talk about the Netflix article, and to answer your question, StreamYard is not still munted, Trey. It was munted last Wednesday for some reason. I could not see the chat at all on the StreamYard side, but it seems to be fixed. So So from the top, I do see Trey. Says you're ready for the cringe. Good to see you. Gravy. I know like you'll be catching the replay, so I hope you have a good time this afternoon with your nephews. Wop. Hello. Hi all. Good to see you. Yes. If you follow me on Twitch, I also created a Kick account, and I am three away of being able to basically get affiliate status on Kick. And I'll be basically switching back and forth from Twitch to Kick moving forward. But tonight I will be on Kick. Looks like I'll be playing Halo Reach, according to the poll on Twitter. So if you follow me on Twitter, look for one of my most recent tweets. I put a poll out asking the Twitter what I should play this evening, and it looks like Halo Reach is basically running away with a victory. Hojo, hello, it's the first time catching this live. Entertain me. Hopefully I do, but welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, close to majority on cringe, yeah. And this is my Twitch also. So as I do, where I do gaming streams. So come hang out then. Like I said, once I get affiliate on Kick, I'll be switching off from Twitch to Kick and so forth. Not going to give up Twitch entirely, but I am. But the reason why I created a Kick account is because I'm really not happy with the policies being implemented by Twitch, and the fact that the current one running Twitch really has no fucking clue what to do. So that always bodes well, pretty much. And this is my main channel, so come follow me there if you're not already following me there. Well, you claim that. You send me cringe. But thank you. Yeah, these people are stupid, pretty much. Couch Entertainment, Halo Reach is awesome. Yes, it is awesome. It is very much awesome. And like I said, it looks like it's going to be basically a runaway victory with Halo Reach. So unless you absolutely want to see me play the OG Diablo, which is a game I also love to play, that's what I'm going to be playing tonight on my Kick account. So come follow me here. This is the link right here. So I'm 3 away from getting affiliate status. I'll be gaming there as well as Twitch. So Soul Assassin, good to see you. Vader Fanatic, hello. I'm doing well. I still kind of sound sick, but I think it's allergies right now. I think it's allergies. There has to be some like major pollen in the air. I can't win. I don't think I'll do a watch party, but I am seriously contemplating. Also, depending on if Stieg, one of my co-hosts, decides to basically go into the lion's den when he targets the Bill and Ted movies. What I might do is for June, I'm going to talk to my co-host for the 1s and 2s, but for June's 1s and 2s, I'm thinking about either doing American Pie 1 and 2, and I know there are more movies post American Pie 1 and 2. The third one, I believe, is called American Wedding, but we're going to stick with just the first two, because they kind of, it's like, the first movie and the second movie is a direct sequel to that, or Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, pretty much. So, it's going to be either one of those two. Most likely American Pie, just given the fact that it's now in the news. And, yeah, revisit those movies. Hello, Mr. Bentham. Good to see you. Yeah, I know you do. Yeah. Yeah, OG Diablos, yeah. I'm saying I feel like a tough call for most people, but like I said, and I have my I'll have my tweet up that it looks like Halo Reach is going to win. It's going to win the poll. Yeah, most of the best armor designs. I will give you that. You fixed your name, yeah. Never watched any past two. American Wedding is fine. It's like basically it's like you don't absolutely have to watch it because, like given the name, you can figure out that one it's Jason Biggs' character pretty much. He and Allison Hannigan's character. What's her name? I can't remember what her character's name is, but they're getting married. So, an American Reunion was also decent. It wasn't like I said. So yeah, it's in the news, and you'll see why it's in the news. So yeah, as a horror comic writer and based veteran, I couldn't break in anywhere mainstream, but I'm glad. I love independent creators. You checked the wrong boxes, pretty much. Yeah, you checked the wrong boxes. But like I said, it's I'm going to talk to my co-hosts for the 1s and 2s, because next month is May, and that'll be a military theme, like for obvious reasons, because Memorial Day is in May. So we'll be doing more of a military theme, 1s and 2s for May. But come June, will either be American Pie or the Bill and Ted movies. Because I'm saving July for Jaws. So I'm saving July for Jaws. Jaws is there's no question, Jaws is going to be the July 1s and 2s. But anyway, we'll talk about Netflix first. We'll talk about Netflix first because Netflix is being sued by an Egyptian lawyer. So let's just go right into that. Like I said, I don't really expect it to really amount to anything. Because one, it's an Egyptian lawyer, and Netflix. I mean, like, even if they cancel Netflix in Egypt, what's that exactly going to do to Netflix's bottom line? Like, really, not much of anything. But it's still funny as fuck that this is happening. All right. All right. So let me find the link. Where are you? There. So let me just zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. All right. You have an Egyptian lawyer suing Netflix for, quote, blackwashing history in the Jada Pinkett Smith documentary Queen Cleopatra. Yeah, because we can trust Jada Pinkett Smith to be anywhere close to historically accurate in portraying Cleopatra. Because, like, even Cleopatra being depicted as Arabic, all right, would even be wrong. In a sense, it would even be wrong. But everyone who when I say everyone, I mean the left, the extreme left. When you talk to them and you mention Africa, in their minds, the only ones that make up Africa are black people. In their minds, right? Because you have over here in the States pretty much the hyphenated African American term, when in fact not every black person actually has ancestry that dates back to Africa necessarily. I'm also a military veteran, and I deployed to Afghanistan in 2009, and part of the deployment involved pre-deployment training, where I had to go to Fort Dix for basically training and, like, combat life-saving skills and so forth. And I deployed with a black woman. It's been like, years, so even if I remembered her name, I wouldn't say her name, but I can't quite remember her name. But I remember her clearly having a problem with the term African American, because she said, and I quote, that she traces her ancestry back to the Caribbean, but because she's black, she had to go through life with that term. People would call her African American, and she absolutely hated that. All right, so, like, but that's the impression that extreme leftists have of Africa, that every person there is black. Never mind that you have Arabic countries to the north, like in Egypt, definitely, for example, pretty much in Morocco and Libya and so forth, like Muslim populations living up in northern Africa, as well as trade points out, white Africans do exist in South Africa. All right? Yeah, she's Macedonian Greek. She's Macedonian Greek, and we'll go into that. We will go into that. All right? And even Morgan Freeman has come out and said that he does not like the term African American. He does not like it. Like, he's like why? Where did this term come from? And it basically came from the political correctness crowd. That's where it pretty much came from. All right? But let's just go into this. All right? Oh yeah, like, say that Elon Musk is the most successful African American, because you are correct. He was born in Africa, so that would make him an African American, but they lose their fucking minds. But there it is. So, an Egyptian lawyer is suing Netflix for depicting Cleopatra as black in upcoming documentary Queen Cleopatra. The 4-part series from Jada Pinkett Smith, yeah, like, we can trust her with anything, explores the heritage of Egypt's last pharaoh, who reigned for 21 years between 51 to 30 BC before her death by suicide. The doc will focus on Cleopatra's heritage. Oh, really? It'll focus on her heritage? Really? Which has, quote, been the subject of much academic debate, but often ignored by Hollywood, according to the synopsis. Oh, really? It's been the subject of academic debate? I don't think her heritage has been the subject of academic debate. Her life, maybe, but not her heritage, and we'll go into that. British actress Adele James, who is best known for her role in Casualty — I have no fucking idea what that show is playing the monarch, while Craig Russell plays Mark Antony. It should be Antony, not Anthony, but anyway. However, lawyer Mahmoud El Samari, has filed a lawsuit over the casting and claimed Netflix was committing a crime for portraying Cleopatra as black. Aren't you loving this? Aren't you loving this? Hey, Sultan. So he's suing. He's filed a lawsuit against Netflix. The complaint, stated according to Egypt Independent, said, quote, most of what Netflix platform displays do not conform to Islamic and societal values and principles, especially Egyptian ones. Because people, like I said, the extreme left, the leftists, conveniently forget that Egypt is also in Africa. All right? Doesn't mean they're black. All right? So basically, like you talk to people and you bring up the term African Americans, well, Egypt would be an African American as well. But they never refer to Egyptians and even those living in the States as Egyptian American, as African American. No, they're called Egyptian American or Muslim American. As if like they're not in Africa. But they are. It's one of those famous countries in Africa. Hey, Charlie. All right? Yeah, that is so fucking realistic. Oh, look at that. So fucking realistic. I swear to God, these people. But like I said, they have an expert. They had an expert for this series. El Samari claimed the trailer contradicted Egyptian history and promoted Afrocentrism at the expense of Egyptian identity. His complaint continued, quote, in order to preserve the Egyptian national and cultural identity among Egyptians all over the world, there must be pride in the makings of such work. All right? Here's the expert. All right? Here's the expert. And I don't know why whenever something stupid happens, a woman is typically involved. Like with the Anheuser-Busch scenario, it was a woman ahead of the marketing VP who made the decision to partner with Dylan, that trans activist, as part of the Bud Light campaign. Seriously, women, if you don't want to be made fun of, stop making retarded decisions, all right? Here it is. So Sally Ann Ashton, an expert, all right, that should be in quotes, all right, that should be in quotes. An expert who appears in the documentary previously spoke to Netflix's Tudum, I have no website about Cleopatra's lineage, right? She's an expert. Yeah, I'm a woman too. When Netflix is focused on like problems, they didn't have these problems. Yeah, they didn't have these problems. I love the race swap memes on Twitter. The black bears being called polar bears was hilarious. Yeah, pretty much. All right, she said Cleopatra ruled in Egypt long before the Arab settlements in North Africa. Long before the African one, too. Long before the African one, too. Like, actually, when I say African, I mean black. Long before that one, too. If the maternal side of her family were indigenous women, they would have been African. Doesn't mean they would have been black. Doesn't mean they would have been black because it was a Greek dynasty. All right? It was a Greek empire. All right? Doesn't mean they would have been black. And if her mother had been an indigenous woman, all right, that would have made her a mistress of of Cleopatra's father Ptolemy, which means she would not have been in line for the throne. That's generally how it fucking works. But we'll go into that. And this should be reflected in contemporary, there's the key word, representations of Cleopatra, not actual representations. If they wanted to be actually genuine representative of what Cleopatra looked like, have any of you seen depictions of Cleopatra based on, because there were coins found, all right, with her likeness, essentially. And so artists basically using a 3D rendering, all right, created what she likely would have looked like. Have you guys seen what she would look like? Have you guys seen pictures of her? I'll show you some pictures of her. I'll find some pictures of her. I'm gonna use it right now so I can like have it. So Cleopatra looks. Images. Images real. Boom. Oh my god. But anyway. Alright. So this is a so-called expert. This is a so-called expert, alright? So let's just stop sharing the screen. Let's look up Cleopatra, alright? I got some Britannica art, sites up, right? So let's look at Cleopatra. biography, all right? Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt. Okay? So we got that. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, her name is Greek. Not African, not Arabic, Greek, meaning famous in her father. All right? Because her father was Ptolemy. All right? Her father, right here, was Ptolemy the 12th. Okay? So, daughter of King Ptolemy. Cleopatra was destined to become the last queen of the Macedonian dynasty that ruled Egypt from 323 BC. I hate the before Common Era, right? But BC and its annexation by Rome in 30 BC. So she was Greek. She was of Greek descent. All right. So her father was Ptolemy. Now, granted, this article doesn't go into who her mother likely would have been. So let's. I clicked on Ptolemy. I clicked on his name. So let's just look at him. All right. Let's look at Ptolemy for a second. All right. So this is her father, Ptolemy the 12th. Okay. Macedonian king of Egypt. Macedonian king of Egypt. And I was reading this. I was scrolling down. Like his life and so forth. Shortly after his arrival in Egypt, Ptolemy married Cleopatra. I'm not going to try bothering to pronounce that name. His sister. And in 76 was crowned in Alexandria according to Egyptian rites. Yeah, they still do a DNA check. Shortly after his arrival in Egypt, Ptolemy married Cleopatra. Right? I think it would be pronounced Tryphena. His sister. Now, granted, Ptolemy was the son of a mistress. So technically, they weren't necessarily completely biologically related. But there it is. This is supposed to be an expert, ladies and gentlemen. I basically just typed in Cleopatra, found the article, found the Britannica article, clicked on her father's name. Here it is. So chances fucking are that her mother was not indigenous. As if her heritage is up for debate. It's not her heritage that's up for debate, it's her life typically that's up for debate. Yeah, you got all your Egypt knowledge like normal people from Assassin's Creed Origins, yes. Yeah, I did more work. I just research this. I'm reading this article going, wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. That does not sound right. So chances are, she's the product of Ptolemy and his sister. Which would not make the mother indigenous. Alright? And would make her pretty much completely Greek. Yeah. And here's what she looks like, folks, based on, like I said, the coins that were found with her likeness. And I use that term loosely, with her likeness, because there's a side profile. But this is what she would have looked like. Look at that Gonzo schnoz. Not black. Not even Arabic. As she's typically depicted in cinema. Greek. Cleopatra was Greek. See these other images? See? It's from a bust, right? Comparison. Right here. This took me all of 30 seconds. And yet they had an expert for the Netflix series. Now, granted, I know you're not going to find a woman that really looks like Cleopatra. And most likely you'd want to find more of an attractive, all right? An attractive woman because you want to appeal to an audience. This wouldn't exactly appeal to a mass audience, all right? But if you want to be accurate, hell, Gal Gadot's a lot more fucking accurate as Cleopatra than the actress they got for this Netflix series. Yeah, time is money, yeah. I'm saying, yeah, kind of looks like a dude. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, look. Gal Gadot, even though she's Jewish, she's Mediterranean, and that's close to Greece, would be a lot more fucking accurate than the chick they got to play Cleopatra. This woman right here. So there it is. Like I said, I don't expect it to amount much to anything. It is an Egyptian lawyer suing Netflix. That Netflix does still have a lot of money despite the decisions they've made recently, pretty much, as well as the fact that even if it's canceled somehow in Egypt for whatever reason, wouldn't exactly put a dent in Netflix's earnings. It really would not put a dent in Netflix's earnings. Yeah, and you even had the actor saying, if you don't like it, don't watch it. And I'm like, okay. I wasn't planning on watching it anyway. Yeah, because that always fucking works. Alright? That always fucking works. But anyway. So I'm going to close those tabs. Like I said, I just found it funny. I just found it really funny. Alright? So let's talk about American Pie. Let's talk about American Pie, ladies and gentlemen. Because apparently, American Pie has been branded deeply problematic as teens watch the films for the first time. Yeah, I'm saying the fact that they had an expert on there going, well, we don't know if her mother was indigenous and she would likely look like this. And we're like, no, the Ptolemies married within the fucking family. They kept it literally within the family. So we would know who her mother is. There would be no debate about her heritage. Her life, maybe, but not her heritage. But there is that. But anyway, yes. So American Pie, that's not at all remotely supposed to be taken as great cinema. All right? It is a very straightforward coming of age movie about four male friends who want to lose their virginity at the prom before they graduate high school. It is that simple. It is not complicated at fucking all. So basically, we're following these four friends as they try to lose their virginity. All right? Because you have one of the friends who's basically in a long-term long-term, basically. He has a steady girlfriend, all right? The one guy. And he has the three single friends, pretty much, all right? One who joined the choir to get close to this girl that he was going to basically seduce and ends up falling in love with, pretty much, all right? Then you have Jason Biggs' character, who ultimately ends up with the band geek because he got embarrassed by blowing his load early, all right? When somehow the video from his webcam got all over, pretty much. People had access to it and they were watching what he was doing, so he ended up with, like I said, Allison Hannigan's character, the band geek, who ended up being more of a sex freak than he anticipated. And then you had the other friends who ultimately went stag to the prom because his little scheme backfired royally, but he ended up with Stifler's mom. All right, that is the level of plot. You're not supposed to take it like Citizen Kane or Lawrence of Arabia or anything like that. And it's like, shocker, male teens act like male teens. In other news, water is wet. But there it is. Let's just go into this. All right? Yeah, it is. I see Soul says it came out when a lot of teen comedies came out, and like basically it was kind of like the trend. It was kind of the trend in the late 90s, early 2000s. Not exactly a shocker. Not exactly a shocker. Sorry, I gotta check something. God damn it. I hate those fucking ads. Anyway. Let's just go into this. Not another teen movie's better. I remember seeing American Pie 2 in the theater. So teenagers have called the American Pie films deeply problematic after their first time watching the iconic movie. The first film debuted in 1999 and featured stars like Jennifer Coolidge, Stifler's mom, Jason Biggs, Chris Klein, Allison Hannigan, and Natasha Lyonne. The sequel, called American Pie 2, came out. What the hell? Editors, do your fucking jobs. Then American Wedding in 2003, and almost a decade later came American Reunion. American Pie would have been, I believe, 2001. The plot follows 4 classmates at high school who aim to lose their virginity before their graduation. That is the level of plot. That is literally the plot. Again, not supposed to be taking it seriously. I think 2 was arguably the better movie, from what I remember. Yeah. A Eurotrip, yeah, that was a big thing. But like I said, if I like for June, I'd be just talking about the first 2 American Pie films, because American Wedding, you can take or leave pretty much. So in an experiment conducted by Vice, which is that tells you everything you need to know, teenagers between the ages of 16 and 19 were asked to watch nostalgic hits like Clueless, Bring It On, and Dude, Where's My Car, as well as American Pie. One 16-year-old named Taylor called the film completely ridiculous. Yes, it's supposed to be, Taylor. It is supposed to be completely ridiculous. You're not supposed to take it seriously. Nothing in this movie pretty much would at all reflect reality. All right? Other than the fact that what the 4 guys want to do, and that is lose their virginity, nothing in this movie at all reflects reality. It is literally Hollywood's concept of the teenager. Pretty much it. And went on to say, the only thing that male characters care about is having sex. That's the point of the fucking movie. They want to lose their virginity. So that's going to be at the forefront of their minds. They're willing to say and do whatever just to convince the girls to have sex with them. One is in a serious relationship, and he's actually talking with his girlfriend about doing it. Yes. Now, do we have to exactly like how the guys approach the situation? No. All right? But at the same time, to call it deeply problematic is a really fucking big stretch. It's a really big fucking stretch. Yeah, it kind of was. So Gen Z kids, my first generation of snowflakes, into thinking that everything's fun. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if that was realistic when the film came out. No, it wasn't. It was not at all remotely realistic in terms of the scenarios set up within the movie. But I think men treat women with a lot more respect and equality now, he added. Well, unless you're a male feminist. Meanwhile, Hannah, 17, added, the part where Jim and the other male characters film the foreign exchange student in his room is deeply problematic. They're horny male teens, all right? And did she... Okay, all right? They're horny male teens. Do you have to... Like I said, do you have to like what they do? No. But it's not deeply problematic considering what you can go online and find nowadays. I can't think of anyone growing up that didn't watch this. Yeah, I'm saying. You know they're calling deeply problematic because there isn't a trans character in this article written by... Well, maybe. The film doesn't even question the morality of doing this. It's not a social commentary. It's literally about 4 guys who want to lose their virginity. It makes it seem like a joke and that the dudes are all legends for getting the plan to work. The fact that it's in quotes, legends, because no one... They only think of themselves as legends amongst their own core group. That's it. That's fucking it. It's a huge violation of privacy and definitely a sexual offense for Jim to film her, let alone then share that with his friends. Alright? Okay. Again, you don't have to like that he did it, alright? But he intended just to share it with his friends and then somehow accidentally had it set so that then everyone could access it. That was the fucking joke. Alright? Because you even had the band Good Charlotte watching it. That would never fucking happen. Hey, Orange Chat. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. No one actually got violated. No one actually got violated. In fact, that was a scenario where he blew his load early and got roasted. Now, again, Good Charlotte is watching this whole situation play down in the movie. That would not fucking happen. She continued, there's no way a teen film made now would allow it because of your generation of being literal pussies. Lastly, 18-year-old Olivia called out the incel attitudes in the film, telling Vice it's bordering on incel attitudes the way the guys in this film think they deserve sex. Horny male teens. Details at 11. Jesus fucking Christ. Probably, yeah. Shocker. Male teenagers are horny. Doesn't make them incels or anything like that. And I like, how sheltered is this Olivia that she would actually think the guys her age are not thinking this? And they don't think they deserve to have sex. They just want to have sex. They're virgins before their senior prom. They want to lose their virginity. And that's it. Well, no, here. And how they seem to think that all women are good for rather than wanting a loving relationship with somebody they respect. You literally have one in the core group, like I said, who has a steady girlfriend, who has had a steady girlfriend for, what, a few years? He's the one in the group with a steady girlfriend who has not pushed himself on her until now because he's gotten to a point where it's like he's going to be graduating high school and he's still a virgin. All right? But he has a steady girlfriend. You would think that if he thought that that's all that she was good for, he would not have stayed with her. I think if you were a teenage boy watching this, you'd basically feel entitled to behave however you wanted towards women, she said. Elsewhere in the experiment, the teens called out cultural appropriation in Bring It On and said the main characters of Dude, Where's My Car were sexist losers, they're stoners, and don't deserve any female attention. Like that I mean, Dude, Where's My Car is a stoner movie. You do not watch that at all sober in any way. And Bring It On, cultural appropriation, where the fuck was cultural appropriation in Bring It On? A cheerleader movie. A fucking cheerleader movie. What? Where was the cultural appropriation? Yeah, in the second movie, he makes Allison Hannigan's character his girlfriend. He realizes that he was in love with her. He realizes he was in love with her. Vice sucks, yeah, pretty much. He realizes he was in love with her. But again, I can't remember the actor's name or the character's name, but again, there's one in the group who had a steady girlfriend. Has been going with her for a while. And you would think If all he cared about was sex, all he cared about was what she could give him in terms of sexual gratification, he would not have stayed with her. But there it is. There it is. And because of this, like I said, because of this, I am considering, in Orange Chat now that you're in the chat, either the 2 American Pie movies for the 1s and 2s in June, or the Bill and Ted movies. Because this is deeply problematic. God fucking forbid they watch anything else from the 80s. If this is problematic, holy fucking shit. Don't let them watch Porky's, because, dear Christ, they would have an aneurysm. That article broke you, Trey? Or Revenge of the Nerds? Dear Christ, if they're calling this deeply problematic, holy fucking shit. Yeah, Police Academy, Stripes to see Mr. Bentham, yeah. There's no way that they would survive movies from the 80s. There's no fucking way they would survive. Risky Business would not fucking survive. If American Pie, along with Bring It On, where cultural appropriation is in that, I have no fucking clue. But Bring It On and Dude, Where's My Car are considered problematic. But anyway, last article from TheGamer, The Gift That Keeps On Giving, in Stacey Henley. I have not heard about this game at fucking all until Trey shared this article with me, and Stacey started bitching about this indie game. Alright? Apparently, we're asking the wrong questions about indie body cam game on record. Again, never heard of this game. Yeah, Van Wilder. Technically did have a gay kiss though, but that was because these women made them do it because of what's. Anyway, we'll go into that. Well, like, you know, if I cover these movies, we'll go into like what that scenario pretty much. But yeah, technically, yeah, but all right. So we're asking the wrong questions about the indie body cam game Record. Unrecord has fantastic visuals, but its problematic premise should be getting more focus. Yeah, pretty much. Let's just go right into this, because it's by Stacey. It's from TheGamer, by Stacey Henley, The Gift That Keeps On Giving. So let's just dive right into this. All right? Unrecord was announced around a year ago now, but recently revealed footage has finally gotten everyone talking about it. The game, shot from the angle of a body cam, where you play as a cop hunting down criminals, has been praised for its visuals, leading to heavy discussion over whether the clip is made up of impressive graphics or simply FMV footage with a heads-up display over the top of it. I can understand why people are drawn to that question, but it isn't the one we should be asking. Oh, it isn't the one we should be asking. Hello, Jaluk. Stacey is like Jade King, pretty much. She's retarded. So if chances are, yes, she did. The question that should come to mind is, what is this game trying to say? It's trying to say this, Stacey, that you are a cop hunting down criminals. And it's essentially told from the view of your body cam. That's it. That's what the game is saying. Literally. You play as a cop hunting down criminals. That's what the game is trying to say. End of article. I know everything is political. Actually, is not always a popular viewpoint. No, it is not a popular viewpoint because not everything is political. Not everything is political, actually. It's only political when you make it political. It is simply a scenario where you play a cop who is basically catching criminals. That's fucking it. There's nothing political about it. You're the one making it political, Stacey. You and your fucking ilk are making it political. Most people are like myself. We're sane, rational human beings that don't want politics in the entertainment industry at fucking all, from either fucking side. We want to be entertained, not lectured to. I hate this woman with a passion, to the point that if I ever fucking saw her in real life and I knew what she looked like and I saw her in real life, I would go up to her and kick her in the fucking baby maker. Even though I think she's trans. But where the fucking baby maker would be, I would Spartan kick the bitch. Because Jesus Christ. That's what I would feel like doing. Alright? This game does not necessarily make it pro-police or anything like that necessarily, but you are playing as a cop, alright? And you want to catch the criminals. It's that fucking simple. It's not, and I sympathize. Do you really, Stacy? Because every fucking article I read from you, you make everything fucking political. So how can you sympathize with that? I didn't watch the Nintendo Indie Showcase, and I think, what does Mineko's night market stand for? Because it doesn't present itself as overtly political. I hate this woman so fucking much. You have no idea. But Unrecord not only has you play as a cop killing bad guys, they're bad guys. Alright? They're bad guys. Now, is she going from actually seeing actual footage of this game? Right? It's like where, like, I don't know, but maybe you're put in a scenario where maybe you do have to shoot the bad guy. I don't know. But typically, if a bad guy resists arrest, tries to shoot the cop, and so forth, then they cease to have any rights and are essentially shot. Because it's now, you're going to protect yourself. Cops will do that. A highly politicized premise. Again, you make it political. It also uses body cam footage as a framing device, which multiplies the politics tenfold. Cops wear body cams. It's kind of an ingenious scenario where it's kind of told from that. So it's not you, like you looking at it, it's the body cam footage. It's bizarre that this is being ignored because the game looks good, and I don't even mean good as it's fun to play, with fairly standard waist-high barriers in shooting arena. Look right here. You're even given scenario questions. Like, I know, maybe the questions that you ask will determine the outcome of the scenario, and maybe you don't end up shooting the guy. You have questions like, who are you? Where is Oscar? Then you have an option here. Everything will be fine. Or you will pay. So you're literally putting the player in a position where what their decisions looks like it will determine the outcome of the scenario. Yeah, better because they aren't real journalists. Yeah, well, even journalists aren't real journalists nowadays. Body cams collect evidence. The graphics certainly are impressive. I think we're being sold a little by the opening shot, which seems extremely real, depicting the outside of a warehouse. Once the protagonist is in motion, the inside of the building seems more like polished graphics, and the surroundings are fairly barren in a way that allows for what remains to shine. Much of the footage is dark, hiding all sins, while the metallic surfaces look a little off, too shiny or flat, while the lines on everything are too straight and uniform, not messy like the real world. Well, then that is a criticism of the actual graphics themselves, alright? But you're, like, hiding all sins. Again, this bitch is making it political. But you can only fudge so much. I'm not 100% sure there's no FMV used, and that's quite the feat. I still don't like the way a lot of games media has uncritically held this up as simply an impressive-looking thing. If we truly view games as art and want them to be respected or taken seriously on the level of other forms of art, we can't just be impressed by the shiny packaging. That is literally what art is. Basically, if you go into a museum and you're looking at the art on the wall, you are literally being impressed by shiny packaging. Alright? That's on the outset, on the surface, that is literally art. Alright? Not everyone goes into a museum and is an art critic, actually look and criticizing every detail or aspect of the portrait or whatever itself. No. It's literally just being impressed by, oh, that's really pretty. That's it. And if you have any legitimate complaints, if those are those complaints that she has in the above paragraph are legitimate, that's a graphics issue. All right, that's literally a graphics issue. Just that. All right. It's also an indie game developer. It's an indie game, which means they don't really have most likely the funds or the backing of a big studio. And maybe that's why. Hell, I fucking played a game called Choo Choo's Charles. You want to talk indie game? Holy fuck. But that's what you get most often with indie games, because they do not have the backing of big studios. Unrecord might be labeled an overnight success. As I already said, this wasn't actually its debut, but so few people paid attention until now that it might as well have been. Thank you, Stacy. All right, I think I know what game I'm going to get. There are only 3 people listed on the website, yet here it is, not only with a compelling trailer that is so impressive people are questioning the graphics, but a shiny new Discord, TikTok, and Twitter account dropping with footage, along with a polished website complete with fact page. If this is a lone developer takes on the world's success story, and after last time, let's not speculate that it's secretly a Kojima project, having a footage that looks so good this early, along with all the trimmings, may be signs of studio stretched too thin. Alright? The fact doesn't answer 2 of the most frequent asked questions, however. The question that has appeared the most is, yo, dude, what the fuck is this real, bro? Which might be translated as, is this made in Unreal Engine 5 or FMV footage? Probably just that. Which seems a strange one to not answer when the Unreal logo is on the website, and looking closely, it does seem like rendered graphics over recorded footage. So fucking what if it is? I'd think you'd want to brag about that. The second question is, why make the game at all? Why not only have us play as a cop, but also shoot it from an angle we only see in highly political news stories? That's the whole fucking point. The body cam, like Mr. I think as Peer, where is it? Where Charlie points out the body cams collect evidence, and it's kind of an ingenious perspective. That it's told from the viewpoint of the evidence collecting device that cops have to wear, all right, to kind of cover their own asses, just in case. Instead, the questions stick to the game itself, as it should. As it fucking should. Alright? Because that's all most people care about, is the game itself. Not politics. Telling us that this is a narrative detective FPS, combining Ready or Not with Firewatch. Other questions tell us that there are plot twists, there's no multiplayer, motion sickness mode is being developed, the game will be ready this year, and that it's possible to join the team. No attempt is made to address the game's framing whatsoever. Alright? Because, again, it should only focus on the game itself. If you wanted to give the hand the benefit of the doubt, you might suggest the angle makes a deliberate point. The victims' faces are blurred, and combined with the realism and the body cam shots, that makes it a grisly watch. Perhaps we're supposed to feel on edge about it, supposed to question the institution of the police. Maybe Unrecorded is Spec Ops, the thin blue line. For all you know, maybe it is told for us to question certain behaviors. We have no fucking clue. She's just like making the shit up as she goes along. However, I doubt it. Nothing on the website suggests this, and the footage seems to glorify the hero in question. God fucking forbid it shows cops in a positive light, because not every cop is a bad seed. Alright? Just not like every poor person is a saint. Alright? You judge accordingly. You judge the individual. Given that we only see body cam footage when a police officer has wildly overstepped the mark with extreme force or excessive violence, because that's the fucking footage we have, you dumb fuck. Alright? Unless there are people filming it with their phones, that's the fucking way we have the footage. Body cam, you dumb bitch. This attempt to reclaim the angle as something cool and exciting is extremely troubling. Added to that, without interrogation of the institution, blurring faces only dehumanizes the cops' targets even further. What, do you want to see the blood? You want to see the face disappear when it gets shot in the forehead? What? You know what? Fucking hell. Okay, 2 more paragraphs. We got this. The problem is most video game characters are cops at heart. I hate this woman so much. They believe they are in the right and act with that authority always. They believe that might makes right, and the narrative around them justifies the view. We joke about how many people Nathan Drake kills for just being low-level grunt guards who get in his way, but most games constantly throw lethal combat at you and teach you that it's okay to kill when you're the good guy. I'm seriously going to Spartan kick this person. Unrecord goes a step further, giving you not only a cop's mentality, but literally framing the cop's actions as heroic. Unrecord looks impressive, and gaming is a technical industry where technological prowess is to be celebrated. But games are also art, and we're all supposed to agree. You're literally telling us that, you're disagreeing with this for political purposes. Remember how the Game Awards got more viewers than the Oscars? So that means we win, right? No, just means people tuned in for the memes. If you really believe that, your questions about Unrecord should go deeper than just the visuals. Fuck you, Stacy. I cannot even with this person. Holy Christ. I cannot imagine being offended 24/7. But there it is. That person is offended 24/7. Why did you find this article, Trey? And why did you send it to me? This article's, yes. Yep. All those people live for is to find something to bitch about. Yeah. It's a human trait. It's literally a human trait. But there it is, folks. There it is. I cried like a motherfucker, yes. But there it is, folks. Those are the articles I was going to cover. Had a laugh, pretty much, Netflix being sued, and the fact that in 30 seconds, I pretty much demolished the expert's opinion for the Netflix series on Cleopatra. But an Egyptian lawyer is suing them for blackwashing history. Not that I think he would even be remotely accurate in how he portrays Cleopatra, because he most likely would portray her looking like an Arabic woman, when in fact she's actually Greek. But there it is. All right. Then you have the deeply problematic nature of American Pie, a movie you're not supposed to take seriously at fucking all. But there it also is. And then you have The Gamer being its own retarded self. Yet again, talking about a game that will most likely, with the Streisand effect, sell like hotcakes, given the fact that it offends Stacey Henley. But there it is. So we are just at the hour mark, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, sorry about that. Those articles are back-to-back, Trey, but you sent me the one, and I broke you with the other. But there it is. So thank you all for hanging out with me. Like I said, I'm back doing the solo streams. Solo streams in the early afternoon. I waited until 1 p.m. to do this one because I'm going live later on Twitch. So around 7:30 p.m., no later than that, Eastern, on Kick. So on Kick. And it looks to be, let me pull up my profile so I can see where the poll is at. All right, so here, ladies and gentlemen, if you follow me on Twitter and you have not voted, you have 1 hour left. 1 hour left to vote in the poll. All right. I'll be live tonight on Kick. And I left it up to Twitter. What game I played. And it looks to be at 56.4% Halo Reach. All right. Now, again, there's an hour left, so if you really want me to play Diablo, then get in and vote, pretty much. But it looks like it's going to be Halo Reach tonight. So thank you to all those who voted. All right, got an hour left to vote. So by about 3 p.m. or so Eastern, go check that out. All right, this is my Kick. Technically, they do. I don't know what's going on with the app. I don't know if you have iOS or Android, but I get push notifications with Kick on my phone. So, as well as an email. So I don't know what's going on. You might want to check that out. But this is my Kick. I am 3 away from being able to apply for affiliate status. I am at 72 followers. I just need 3 more. So if you're not following me over there, please go give me a follow there. And come check that out later on this evening. Like I said, it looks like I'll be playing Halo Reach. So you have Android? Well, yeah. iOS seems to be better. Seems to be better. Let me see. I am still at 72 followers. All right. Well, Kick is like they need to work on stuff. But anyway, so thank you all again for hanging out with me. I think I'm gonna take my dog out and then have a quick nap because I did not nap before this stream. So that way I am at least sorry, Kick, yes. Then I'm at least awake playing Halo Reach tonight. So take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day or evening, depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you all next time. So, peace.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.